welcome back to the program. It is the weekend preview here for Los Alamitos. The weekend of, what is this? I forget the date. Here we go. November 21st. November 21st. Welcome back, Christopher Wade. Before we dive into, I give you kudos for last week. I told people, tune in to Christopher Wade in the paddock because, yes, in the race that you gave us your best bet, your trouble horse, you also made a case for a big long shot. And I don't know if I caught it on video or it was before we recorded the show, but I told you that horse can win without me, Chris. We were talking about this horse. The name was Just Fortunate. And I told you, Chris, I've been chasing this horse forever. I can't do it. I'm not going to use this horse, but you stuck along. You made a case. And the horse finally broke, Chris, and big upset at a big price.
Yeah, it was a horse that had like 9 lifetime starts. And on my charts, in his last 8 races of his 9 starts, he was what I call a W, which he was either a combination of a W, which is a horse to watch, or a long shot W horse to watch. And I said in the paddock prior to the race, I go, if this horse ever breaks, he could blow up the tote board. And guess what? That's what happened, as noted by Michael Wrona, who actually even put it in his comments.
Oh, yeah.
And so he blew up the tote board. He finally broke for Martha Wells and got the job done.
Yeah, well done. And also in that race where you had that horse that you liked, the other one, he might have been 3 lengths best. Like if you watch the replay of that horse getting shuffled back, angled to the outside, and still galloping out well, that horse, if he ever breaks, that horse should be an easy winner next time out.
Yeah, that horse broke slow, was bumped back, and had nowhere to go. Cross, angled out to the outside, was outside the 9 horse when he finished. It only got beat 3/4 of a length, so. Yeah. Gosh knows the horse probably was much, much the best. As I thought on my chiggers he was tons the best, and he was. But the long shot broke and got the job done at a huge number.
Yeah, the other horse, the troubled horse, was a Sign of Bit Candy. So that's a horse to follow moving forward. All right, let's get down to business. Me and you, we're not going to sleep tonight. We're recording this on Thursday evening, and the entries just came out for Sunday's card. We're going to talk about Sunday's card because it is trials for the 2 million Futurity. So we kind of dived into the early part of the card already. So we have a few horses that we want to talk about. But Chris, 14 races on Sunday. You ready?
Not really, but I'm going to have to be.
All right. What race do you want to take a look at here?
I'm going to take a look at the second race of the trials. I'm taking a look at the Rail Runner, Doc's Fast Lane. The horse did qualify the Edinburgh Million Futurity and was 4th in the Kindergarten Futurity. So you know the ability is there, but the horse is a Strife Finder Deluxe. And this horse found nothing but trouble when a much better look 4th in the trial for the Golden State Million Futurity off that 129 layoff. And lots of tape when this horse came out of post number 8. It's number 8 in this race. Did break very, very slow when prior to the gate. It was fractious inside the gate, was bumped back and lost multiple lengths, was crossed, angled in, and was loaded late with tons and tons of run. Breaking slow in post number 8, was behind horses, nowhere to go, angled in right about here, and still no room to run. Was behind runners far, far back, but was striding out very strong under a hold near the wire, and was probably was right there with the leaders with a decent getaway and earned a very good figure with everything factored in off that effort.
Yeah, you can see he's still galloping out well in that trial event. And, you know, he was trying to make up ground into a pretty solid 9.71 final 8th, which is pretty solid given the slow start and the bumping. So that's going to be number 1 horse, Doc's Fast Lane, in trial number 2 of 14 trials. So plenty of trials to get involved. And I believe at least every trial has a field of 8 from what I saw.
Yeah, so it's a great night of racing, and that horse right there is going to definitely move forward off that long layoff. And with a clear path expected from the rail, has a big look in the night's second event as one of our horses to watch.
Yeah, and at this point, this is just the early entry, so we don't know the morning line just yet. But we do know that Doc Fastlane should be one of the main contenders in that spot in that second event. So that's going to be the second trial of the evening. By that point, we'll have plenty more trials to go for Sunday. So top 10 times return, advance to the 2 million final, and looking forward to it. So pay attention. Listen to Chris in the paddock. I warned you guys. Listen to Chris because he'll come up with a long shot, and he did last week there via the simulcast signal. So Chris, well done, and we're looking for an exciting night of trials here on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait. Great night of racing, and we're looking for some more prices along the way.
All right, have a good night.
You too, boss.
Night racing's best bets, the Los Alamitos Pick Fours, continue strong every weekend. Racing fans, the early and late Pick Fours had some of the biggest pools of the year on November 14th. The early Pick Four handled over $189,000, and the late Pick Four pool was over $195,000. Plus, we're still offering our $10,000 Pick Six promo on eligible Sundays. It means more money in your pocket when you win. Night racing's best bets are here, Saturday and Sunday nights. Play them at Los Alamitos Racecourse.
Welcome back to the program. Now joined by Michael Wrona on 14 trials, 3 Pick Fours. I'm looking at so many numbers that my mind is spinning right now. But it's always a fun night to kind of tackle and handicap.
Yeah, it is overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yes.
There's so much talent on display this coming Sunday night. And just looking forward to an enormous program. And best of luck to everybody participating and striving for that coveted spot in the starting gate on the night of December 12th.
Yeah, we haven't had as many of quantity of trials in recent years that I can remember. We've had 12 in the last few years, but I think in the last maybe 5 to 10 years, this might be the most amount as far as trials on 2 Minute Futurity trial night. So looking forward to it. And looking forward to obviously your race calls as well. This is going to be a double header for you this night back in December. So looking forward to the finals where you'll be doing the double headers.
Right, yeah. Champion of Champions on the 11th and the Los Al 2 Million Futurity final on the 12th. That'll be the last weekend of the Thoroughbred meet. So 2 very big races at the end of those nights on that closing weekend of double headers. But at least I won't have to call 14 races on either of those nights. Quite happy to just get the 14 trials out of the way on an evening when I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, so looking forward to these trials Sunday night. You're going to take us to trial number 12. What horse do you want to focus on?
Well, I was trying to find a horse because there's so many good horses and so many that I'm a fan of that are entered across the night. I was looking for a horse with potential upside, a reason, an angle for improvement coming into this race. There's a lot of well-established Los Alamitos form, including with the favourite, I presume the favourite in this race, Chisholm. Haven't seen the morning line yet. But, Jose, I was very interested in number 6, Dash and Moonflash, who came in for a trial to the Golden State Million Futurity last month for trainer Eddie Willis and was slowly into stride, was never a winning chance in that race, although finished it off okay in 4th. I think that with that run and a subsequent gate work, that there's a lot of scope for improvement here. This is the replay of the Golden State Million Futurity trial. The horse had post position 2.
Yeah, and he's going to he breaks low, and he also tries to pretty much lug in a bit every step of the way, never really settled. But I thought it was a pretty good effort, given that was a first start under the lights here at Los Al.
Yeah, he was working home well. The last part of the race was the best part of it for him. And what I love is that Willis has given this horse a gate work subsequently. And I think that we really would have sharpened him up because when we go to the gate work on November 6th, you'll see how much better the horse breaks. This was a 2-horse work, November 6th. He got the second fastest, I think, of the 220-yard works, 12.2 seconds breaking from the inside.
Yeah, on the inside of a 2-team set here on this morning. So this was November 6th after that trial run. So a much more professional out of the gate and a much more smooth stride.
Yeah, I think that this has made the world of difference for him. I love this gate work. And interestingly, he's going to break right next door to Chisholm. And both horses came through the Ruidoso yearling sale and brought a pretty penny. Chisholm cost $150,000 and has already repaid that purchase price. He's got a great resume, having qualified to the Ed Burke and the Golden State Million Futurities. I'm a fan of Chisholm, but this horse who cost $100,000 at the same sale will break next door to him from gate 6. And I, again, haven't seen the morning line as we record on a Friday morning, but I'm assuming Chisholm would be the favourite because of the depth of his resume. But the upside and big scope for improvement could be with Dash and Moonflash.
Yeah, and and sometimes I like when the horse I like, in this case, it would be, we're talking about Dash and Moonflash. I like when they're drawn either inside or outside immediately next to the favorite, because if you break, you'll break that favorite. You immediately have a little bit of a head start, a little bit of an advantage, and also you got a little bit of a target to run if they're drawn next to you. So I think drawing immediately next to Chisholm is not a bad spot to be for Dashing Moonflash.
Yeah, if they both break, I think it'll be a hell of a horse race.
Yeah, it looks like it could turn out that way. We also have the good resume of Hallelujah Knights drawing the inside post, but I think you might be onto something for the second time improvement here for Dashing Moonflash in gate number 6.
Okay, well, good luck to all of the participants across the 14 races. I'm looking forward to the privilege of announcing them, and we'll just wait and see who gets into that starting gate on December 12th.
Looking forward to all your calls on Sunday night, Michael. We'll see you out there at Los Alamitos.
Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. On Sunday, November 7th, a one-night carryover of $14,000 led to an outstanding total pool of over $94,000. On Sunday, October 17th, a one-night carryover of $17,000 led to a total of over $110,000. And the payouts are tremendous, headed by a season-high payout of over $94,000 on May 21st. And remember, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos will add $10,000 to the pick six pool.
Welcome back to the program. Now, pleased to be joined by Orlando Gutierrez, our Director of Marketing here at Los Alamitos. Professor G, buenos dias. I've always said it, you're a Swiss Army knife type of guy. You do everything as far as I see you doing a lot of things around the racetrack. Are you a clocker now? Are you an observator? What are you doing?
Well, yeah, we're here visiting the morning works happening here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. We still got a few more minutes happening here, so you might see some horses going behind me, some of the trainers, exercise riders and all. But yeah, I like to come out and visit in the mornings, talk to the trainers and so forth. And we're here enjoying the morning works, a beautiful morning, getting ready for a beautiful weekend here at Los Alamitos, the Las Damas Handicap, the Las Chiquitas on Saturday, and then that huge card on Sunday. 14 trials, Jose. So get ready for a busy and exciting night here at Los Al on Sunday.
We've had 12 in recent years, but this might be one of the, I can't remember anything more than 14, maybe 16. Do you remember at all?
I'm sure we've had 14, 15 races, 16 races at some point. Edberg Million was always a big night. Yeah. When I started working in the early 90s, we would probably have some 15, 16 race cars here and there. But yeah, I actually, how you write all those comments for the Night Nights program.
Don't remind me, Orlando.
I had to create the 2 pages for the 13th and the 14th to have them ready for you. So yeah, it's been a while, but we've had some 13 and up race cars, but exciting to have. We have 3 pick 4s. They will start in races number 1, number 6, and I believe race 11, if I'm counting my races correctly.
Yeah, it should be a fun card to kind of dive in. So let's take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll start looking at some interviews and also some of the past performances for the 14 trials on Sunday night.
Horse racing fans, the fun and excitement of horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. We're open daily for simulcasting, and our live quarter horse and thoroughbred meet continues every Saturday and Sunday night. And sports fans, make Burgarts at Los Alamitos a big part of your Sundays, as our new sports bar and wagering room now features the NFL Sunday Ticket. Root on your favorite football team plus cheer on your favorite racehorse at Burgarts. Plus, we're continuing to offer our popular $10,000 Pick 6 promo with the NFL Sunday Ticket now at Burgarts. Live nighttime horse racing action, and of course, our $10,000 Pick 6 promo. Get your admission tickets at the gate or online at losalamitos.com. We look forward to seeing you at Los Alamitos.
Speaking of Burgarts, Orlando, I see you got a nice banner behind you highlighting some of the features that we have at Burgarts.
That's right. The NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. You can come out and watch every single NFL game on Sundays. There at Burgarts, you can watch them all in high definition, play a little bit of pool. You got the nice bar, and of course, you can watch and wager on all the racing action from around the nation. So, great place to watch the Dolphins and Jets for me. This might be one of my few wins left of the year. But the Dolphins have a way of surprising me. So, looking forward to that game, Jose.
This is the ticket this is the game you have to be looking forward to it, because you feel like this is another one that you can add to the win column, Orlando.
Well, they surprised me last Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday night, they handed it to the Ravens. Now Tua's gonna start the Jets game, so I'm as excited as I can be being a Dolphins fan.
Go Dolphins there. So visit
you know, Jose. By the way, you mentioned the finish line behind me, but also if you notice, right above the banner there is you can see the tripod. That's actually where we set up the shutter cam. So just kind of a behind the scenes look at some of the things happening here at Los Al, some of the cool features that we have, and of course the shutter cam pretty prevalent on the quarter show, and especially prevalent this weekend with so much great quarter horse racing that's going to be happening on Sunday night during the trials.
And speaking of cameras and all that stuff, you got a live studio audience. Shout out to James. He's one of the guys that works with the cameras. He's out there acting like your live studio audience. So shout out to James. Shout out to James there.
Yeah. Warmed up my crowd and everything.
Yeah, I mean, we got everything going here on the show. Before we get into the trials on Sunday, 14 trials, 3 pick fours. Let's take a look at Saturday night, because Saturday night we got the Grade 2 Las Damas Handicap Orlando. $50,000 is the purse.
It's a showcase of the top mares in the nation, in my opinion. You got Kiss Through Fire, who you have to say has been the top mare based in California this year. She did make a trip out to Remington Park, and there she ran into Cat Daddy's Little Girl, who may have been the top mare in Remington Park this spring. She won the Juno's Request, won the Easy Date. That victory in the Juno's Request for Cat Daddy's Little Girl earned her an invitation to the Champion of Champions this year. So she's going to be very busy, Cat Daddy's Little Girl, here at Los Alamitos. She running in the Las Damas. She'll be running in the Champion of Champions. And I'm gonna assume that maybe she'll stick around and run in the Charger Bar Handicap, a race in which she ran second to Kiss Through Fire earlier this year. And it'd be interesting having Cat Daddy's Little Girl in the Champion of Champions, because we haven't had an older mare win the Champion of Champions since Dash for Speed in 1990. So she's looking to break almost over a 30-year streak where we haven't seen older mare win the Champion of Champions. We've had some 3-year-old fillies. We've had some of them, Cash for Cass, Blues Girl 2, Dashing Folly. Some of those come to mind right away. But it's been a while since we had a mare win this outstanding race, the Champion of Champions, Cat Daddy's Little Girl. We get to see how she's doing, coming off of a little workout there on October 28th here at Los Al, getting ready for this race. But she's in tough with Kiss Through Fire. And also, Linder 16. She's going to be breaking from the outside. Linder 16 has had an excellent meet. I believe she's won 6 stakes races since July of 2020, Jose. And she comes in after running fourth in the distaff race at Albuquerque. But you can see all those wins on her past performance sheet there. 15 in total for her career for Linder 16. So looking forward to just a terrific running of the Las Damas.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun race. 10 horses entered, 10 classy mares. Like you mentioned, some 3-year-olds, some older runners. I'm liking how Famous Shining Star really improved last time at Orlando. She looks sensational. What I liked about it is how well she broke. And she wasn't slowing down. She was still finishing with a good final 8th. To me, I know she's a 3-year-old tackling some tougher rivals in this spot, but I like the way how she took care of business. She's nicely bred. They were always expecting big things out of her. They paid $250,000, $250,000 for her at the Ruidoso. So Mr. Johnny Trotter owns this filly. I like how professional she looked last time out. There's definitely some more classy runners with more resumes, stronger resumes, but I was impressed with that win.
Yeah, throw the resumes out the window sometimes when you have a horse that is on a nice hot form, and that was a terrific victory from Famous Shining Star, and a horse that's a mare that's maturing. It's late in the year. She's another one that should be pointing to the Charger Bar Handicap as a 4-year-old during her 4-year-old campaign. So pretty exciting to see this filly mixing it up with the older top mares. And Jose, I'm hoping that pretty soon to have an announcement on the stake schedule for 2022. Some exciting things coming up in our stake schedule for next year. So keep watching the show, and we'll be having those announcements in the very near future. But for now, enjoy the Las Damas Handicap happening here on Saturday night.
You were able to catch up with Juan Aleman talking about the Las Damas Handicap, most notably Kiss Through Fire. Let's catch up with Juan Aleman here for the Las Damas?
Well, certainly one of the mares of the year has been Kissed Through Fire. Several stakes wins already under her belt now in the Las Damas Handicap, a really strong field. Juan, how do you see this group of runners going? And what do you think of your post position? She started from post 1.
Well, she's ran for the 1. You know, it's not where I'd hoped she drew, but it is what it is. That's where she drew. So she's got to run from the 1. Very tough field. So Saturday night for Las Damas. Just hope for the best that night. If she gets away, she'll be tough.
Thank you to Juan Aleman there for talking with us. Las Damas Handicap, Grade 2 Orlando, 400 yards. Obviously, I don't have the morning line in this spot, but I do think, was it Linder 16 the morning line favorite, or was it Kissed Through Fire?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Linder 16 right. That may have been 5-2.
5-2, maybe 3-1. Not sure.
Yeah.
But you know, those two runners drawing inside outside. You know, they're going to take plenty of betting support. But this is a very good race for Saturday night, the Las Damas Handicap in a field of 10. So take a look at that race, and then we'll be waiting for the trials on Sunday night. All right, Orlando, time to get busy. 14 trials, 10 fastest times to advance to the final. We're just about we're less than a month away from the finals of both the Champion of Champions and the 2 million. So these quarter horses will have to make the turnaround there to run in the rich 2 million final, the richest race in California of any breed outside of the Breeders' Cup, when California hosts the Breeders' Cup. Do you need to go run out and clock some horses, Orlando, or you're good?
No. I was just checking out our terrific maintenance crew. They're starting to do some work here on the track, getting ready for the weekend here at Los Al. So you'll also see our maintenance crew just cruising by with the trucks, just getting the racetrack prepared for tomorrow's workouts and of course the weekend action as well. But race number 1, Jose, the first trial of 14 to the 2 million futurity, and I thought this was one of the strongest trials overall, just from top to bottom. I like the 6 Precision, who was terrific in the trials too. The PCQ Hra Breeders Futurity, Dynamic Jess, who was played quite strongly in the final, 7-1 in the final after winning his trial by almost 2 lengths. Daytona 1000, Jose, horse that you liked when the horse broke her maiden back on November the 6th. Scoops Dynasty is also in this race, a stakes winner here at Los Al when he won the John Deere Juvenile. So top to bottom, there's some pretty nice horses in this race. One of the most competitive trials of the night.
I agree. I think right off the bat, this is going to be a good trial to set the bar as far as talent-wise and what potential they have. Right off the bat, this is a race where I'm going to highlight a replay, Orlando. Speaking of Juan Aleman and Kissed Through Fire, I'm going to go to the Juan Aleman trainee in this spot, and that is going to be Dynamic Jess. Specifically, I'm going to focus. Last time out, he lost all chance at the start. To draw a line to the PCQ Hra Breeders Futurity, I'm going to highlight the September 12th race, and I'm going to go to the Los Alamitos website. These was trials night, and the key is up to this point, even that 4th place finish in June, he wasn't breaking as well, but he was finishing with big strides. So he finally had the outside post here on September 12th. And watch what he did after breaking, much better from the outside. He had that path to run. I just love the way he finished, Orlando. To me, he's a horse that should enjoy the extra 50 yards tonight.
Just a terrific finish there from Dynamic Jess, and is going to be breaking from a similar spot, post number 8. So that's definitely in his favor. And just look at the way he separated in that race. In the final, he false broke, so that was kind of put him right behind the 8-ball right away in the final. Never had a chance to really compete in that one, and kind of faded as the race went on. But you go back to that race 2 outings ago. You gotta really like this horse. He's my second selection in this race. I like Precision coming into in this opening trial, just pretty consistent. He's been really consistent going back 4 races, ran a solid 3rd. Last out, just pretty much ran a solid race from start to finish. Favorite Honey jumped into a big lead. Corona Yo was right there as well, and Precision just did his thing, ran solid. It was actually went off as the favorite almost at 3-1. So I think Precision will continue. to deliver solid efforts, and I'm going to pick him on top in race 1.
Yeah, I went for my 9-line selections. I went Dynamic Jess, and then I went Sasalytical, coming in from Prairie Meadows for now joining the barn of Jose Flores, previously campaigned by Clinton Crawford, and then the 6-horse Precision. But I love the post for Dynamic Jess. I love how he was striding away under a confident handride in that trial event. So he's going to be my pick for Juan Aleman and Juan Sanchez in the first trial. All right, Orlando, we have some interviews to highlight throughout the card here. Why don't we jump around and try to catch up with some of those interviews there? We'll quickly glance over a few of these trials. Race 2, we don't have the morning line just yet, but you would think like a runner like Black Coffee would be one of the favorites in that race number 2, correct?
Yeah, Black Coffee, my top selection in this one, coming off of October 30th work. I thought it was a good work. He was really quiet in the gate, was fast out of the gate. He did bobble a little bit leaving, picked up his speed, floated towards the inside, but it was a nice, easy ride in that work, and just continued nicely and really impressive at the finish, and a really strong gallop out. I really like the work from the 6, Black Coffee. A little bit of bobble, though, at the break. That's why it wasn't a super fast time.
Yeah, he took some money in the Edberg Million. Qualifying there was troubled. I think Doc Fastlane, the other one with resume potential, already kindergarten and Edberg finalist. Jaime Gomez, you can't count him out on these type of nights. He points his horses in the right direction. So,
and Jaime is one of those trainers that really likes drawing the rail.
Yeah, he doesn't mind having the rail. Yeah, and once you're racing 350, 400 yards for 40, you don't have the gap immediately after the start. So by the time they hit the gap, if you're going 400 yards, the horses are usually at full speed, so they tend to lug in less at approaching the gap. So the inside post is not, it's not a bad spot to be when you're racing these longer distances. Race number 3, we got a field of 8 horses in this spot. Trapper John took plenty of support first time out, Orlando. He draws the outside post. Do you think switching to the outside might lead to a better result tonight?
He'll need to do something. It just hasn't really fired like we expected. He came in pretty highly touted, even by some other trainers that we talked about. They were really looking forward to seeing Trapper John perform. He's shown a little bit of speed early, but just hasn't finished. So we'll see. Maybe you're right. Maybe that outside draw might help this horse. I like the 4. Yeah, I like 4. BFG's Outrageous. From a family that we know well. We've seen BF Outrageous, I believe. That's the horse from out of that same. No, that's the mare. That's BF Outrageous. But we've seen a horse that's qualified to a bunch of races from this family. BFG's Outrageous has qualified to the Rainbow Futurity, the New Mexico State Fair, and even won the Desert Classic Futurity, a $60,000 race.
Yeah, she's got a good resume, as you can see, 4-for-7. She tends to break well, so that's to me that's the horse to beat in this first event. And you can see a field of 8 runners set to post with Trapper John drawing the outside. But I like 4-7-8, 4-7-8 for me in that order in that race number 3. Race number 4. This is where we pick up with some of the interviews you were able to catch on. We got a field of 9 in this spot, Orlando. Visually, if you're looking at videos, I think one of the horses that are going to stand out based on closing kicks is Pentos, Orlando. Did you put Pentos in your top 3, or are you looking somewhere else?
Yeah, Pentos is an interesting horse. Performed nicely in the trials to the Golden State Million. Defeated Empty Promise, who's in trial number 3. I'm going to go, though, with the 2, Favorite Honey, coming off of a super win in the PCQ Breeders Futurity. This horse also ran 3rd in the Governor's Cup Futurity. And it's slightly raced. It's a horse that has the races have been nicely spread out throughout the year. We've seen how nicely he finished at 350 yards to win the Futurity. So the horse should like the 400-yard distance. We had a chance to talk to Armando Cervantes, the jockey who actually won the $2 million last year. He'll be riding several top contenders in the trials. Favorite Honey, Hallelujah Nights, and also incredible in the last trial. Let's see what Armando Cervantes had to say about some of his top mounts going into Sunday night.
On the eve of a big night of trials, the Los Alamitos 2 million trials, and you are very familiar with the 2 million. You won the race last year with Apolitical Patty. Let's talk about some of the horses that you will be riding here on Sunday night. Let's start with the new arrival from Lone Star, Incredible.
You know what, Incredible is a good horse. last out I wasn't able to ride him because I had days. Jesus Ayala rode him. Horse, second out he needed a little bit more experience, but we took him out. He's been galloping pretty good, and I think he'll be good for the trials.
Favorite Honey won the PCQ Hra Breeders Futurity here. Very solid contender. What do you think?
You know what, Favorite Honey, he's been one of my favorites. Horses, just great, I think the key of him is just the way he stands. He's really professional in the gates. He's been running just 350 lately, and this time he's gonna run 400 yards. I think that'd be great for him. I like the ground for him more, so we'll be good with him too.
And a horse that we've seen what he can do at longer distances, Hallelujah Night. You have a chance to ride him.
Yeah, Hallelujah Night. He's a great horse as well. The last time in the finals in the Golden State Million, I decided to ride in Hot Pursuit, and Francisco Calderon rode Hallelujah Night. Well, the horse he broke well, but just started lugging out a lot. But I think if he could break and he keeps his steps right, he got a big shot qualifying too as well.
Last year you were honored with the Val Punks Memorial Award for Up and Coming Rider. We mentioned some of the races that you won, including the 2 million. Continuing with a solid season this year, how do you prepare for a big night?
Well, you know what? I try to be on my top, just relax and focus on my job and just as soon as we get in the gate and it's time to go, just time to ride.
There was Armando Cervantes talking about Favorite Honey. He's ridden this horse in 5 out of the 6 starts. All 4 wins have been with him, and I thought that race was more impressive than what it looks on paper. Orlando, it's only a neck, and a neck win, but he was just he was barely picking up his stride. He was just finding his best stride. Final 8th and 9.56. So you got to think he's going to enjoy the extra 50 yards.
And even when the horse ran 3rd in the Governor's Cup Futurity, you can see the horse broke 5th.
Yeah,
it was making up ground, finished 3rd.
Yeah, so he looks like he still has room to improve, which might sound like trouble for the rest of the field, given the talent that Favorite Honey has shown up to this point. What about La Blue Amor? There's gate speed for this one. Orlando Lindolfo Diaz trains this one. Showed ability to begin her career.
Yeah, and qualified to the Kindergarten Futurity with some really impressive wins. And it was kind of a weird race in the Kindergarten Futurity because once again in that one, if you remember, Jose, horse broke nicely and was fighting for the lead and then just kind of stopped in those final, about 220 yards after that spot, kind of faded pretty badly. But since then has kind of, continued to perform okay. Lindolfo Diaz credits her for having a lot of early speed. It says that the horse is training extremely well, just missed out qualifying to the Golden State Million. She was unlucky not to make it. Was one of, I believe, lost the shake to get into the Golden State Million. But we had a chance to talk to Lindolfo Diaz about La Blue Amore.
We're here with trainer Lindolfo Diaz. Lindolfo, you won $1 million races before. Had a horse by the name of Floki, right?
Yeah.
That
my dad part owned
exactly.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it with your dad. And of course, those $2 million races are always fun. We got trials to the 2 million coming up, and you have La Blue Amore, runner that's qualified to some big races. Just missed getting into the Golden State Million, but how is she doing coming in?
Doing really, really well. She came out of those trials really, really good. We're doing really good. She's been training amazing, so she's doing really good. We're hoping to get a little luck, better luck this time. She finished in 10th, and we got outshook. So it was just bad luck. Hopefully our luck is on this side this time for the 2 million.
When she ran in the trials to the Golden State Million, what did you think was the key to getting her to perform just at such a high level?
Her strength is usually her gate speed. She breaks amazing and she opens up on them, and it's catch me if you can. She doesn't usually get the 400 as well as I would. She doesn't finish as well as I would like, but she opens up so big lead early on, and usually so she just gets there. She tries. If she tries hard, that's what I love about her. But hopefully her break. Definitely it's her break.
You mentioned that being her strength from a gate position standpoint. Where does that help that kind of strength?
The good thing about that, usually you avoid a lot of trouble early on, because if you break fast enough, they don't. You usually just avoid all the trouble. The horses don't bump you. It's harder for them to bump you if you break out on top.
Yeah.
So try to avoid all the trouble. That's usually been a good thing about her.
Thanks so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Lindolfo Diaz, La Blue Amore. They've had Jesus Ayala for the last two. Jesus stays aboard. He keeps them out for La Feliz Montana Ranch. Her main asset is her gate speed, Orlando. She can break fast.
Yeah.
Let's see how far she can take this field.
Yeah, and she's proved that she can hold that speed at 400 yards. And again, nicely drawn from post 4. And Diaz says that the horse is doing great. Looking forward to the race.
All right, race number 5, and this will not begin a pick 4. This is kind of the in between leg between some pick 4s. Corona Joe, Imperative, Apolitical Thunder. Just a few horses to kind of note here. To me, this race looks like a 2-horse race. I think Corona Joe and Watch Out, to me, are a level above the rest. This is one of those races that I think are going to be heavily bet as a 2-horse race.
And we're seeing that Corona Joe likes the rail, has performed well, likes to be inside. Even when the horse drew the number 2 post, won pretty solidly, won by a half length. So I agree, Corona Joe is definitely a contender. I like the 7, Watch Out. I think this horse can finish. We haven't seen too many fly through the fires, win at 400 yards, but I think this horse can do that.
There was a couple of horses I remember going to those May 30th trials that I had high expectations, Orlando. This was one of them. The other one came back to win last week in the nightcap. I forget the name, but it was for a Doc Allred horse as well at a price. He was the long shot of the night. This was the other horse that I had high expectations going on trials at and just didn't fire. Got into some trouble, trouble trip, race to ignore, came back to win at 10-1, and then finished a game second in the Governor's Cup Futurity. He's had plenty of time off. I like the workout, 18-20. To me, he's the main threat to the established Corona Joe.
Yeah, and I agree. A half brother to he looks hot. I think that this horse will be able to carry that early speed because we know that Flight Through the Fires do have some really nice motor out of the gate.
Yes.
And this horse will finish nicely in the top selection for me in race 5. Watch out.
Ooh, top selection. Watch out, Professor G. Here we go in race number 5. All right, race number 6. This does begin the middle pick 4. Races 6, 7, 8, and 9. We got a field of 8 in this trial. Who did you like in this spot, Orlando?
Well, I'm looking for Fortunate Corona to come back from kind of a disappointing 7th. Just a lot of trouble leaving the gate out there in the Golden State Million. Just didn't have much of a clear path in that race. But if you look back at those 2 previous starts, talk about a horse that just the light bulb just came on and really showed a lot last 2 outs after kind of a middling start to his career. Mm-hmm. Super efforts last 2 outs. And I look forward to this horse to come back and show that kind of an effort once again in the 2 million trials.
Yeah, and I'm just because of that, I'm gonna provide you the replay for the big trial win on October 10th, Orlando. Fortunate Corona, 14-1 from that inside post. I mean, like you mentioned, he seemed like he just was starting to figure things out. He put it all together, and he looked impressive this night, winning at 14-1. There it is. Good, clean start. Good acceleration. And, he was overlooked. I believe he was 5 or 6-1 on the morning line, but he really stepped it up to another level and finished strong here in this trial.
Yeah, and the next race after that, just a tremendous effort in his Golden State Million trial as well.
Yeah, so that's a nice final 8th and 9.58 for Fortune Corona. So we know he can break well. We know he can finish. We know there's talent. So Fortunate Corona looking for a bounce-back effort on Sunday night in race number 6, which is the start of the pick 4. Bomb Cyclone, Orlando. We know this breeding line. Remember Rose, Favorite Cartel. All 3 starts, he's been right there in the mix of things. He's actually had trouble in all 3 starts. So that's a concern that he doesn't always break well, but he can finish. And based on the pedigree, he should be a tough customer in this spot.
Yeah, the first 2 outings, just flash strong late. And, Chris O'Dell, I'm sure this has been pointing this horse since, for a while, specifically for this race. And I think the horse will bring his A game here. I have him as my third selection in race 6.
Who's your second selection? Who was your second selection in this spot?
Mr. C Cartel, Jose.
Oh, that was another workout horse, a highlight workout horse
that you loved. Yeah.
So, Mr. C Cartel. All right, I like this, Orlando. You don't, usually it's a big jump from the maiden 300s to trials 400s, but I'm in agreement with you that he did fairly well that night to put up a pretty good clock in a 1569.
Yeah, you got a fresh horse that's coming off of a super effort. I like his chances here with the extra distance as well. It's something that he's never done before, going 400 yards, but we did see a 330 yard second place finish. So, it's not like if a longer distance than 300 yards is foreign to this horse.
So that's a look at that sixth event, the first leg of the middle pick 4, race number 7. We got a field of 8 runners in this spot. Who did you end up liking in this trial?
In race 7, I went with the outside horse, just right on cue. Another Odell horse with Nicasio, Dardo Nicasio, riding this one. Has had 2 stars here at Los Al, 4th in his first out in a trial to the Golden State Million. Horse comes back a couple of weeks later and runs a nice second. So that was only 3 weeks ago. So, I'm sure they probably felt that the horse needed maybe just one more tiner just to get him ready for these trials. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think he draws a good post given what he's done up to this point. Do you think a runner like Bemusing might be the main threat to that runner?
I do.
Right.
I think he's my second selection in this trial. Bemusing coming off of a 3rd place finish, but a really nice finish in his trial to the Golden State Million against 2 horses that ended up advancing to the final, Golden Boy and Hallelujah Nights. And this horse got into a little bit of trouble, got bumped around in that trial, but came on pretty nicely to run 3rd.
Yeah, and I'll show you the replay. Bemusing, October 10th. He had the outside post this night. And like you mentioned, he was still finishing up with interest. And given that he ran into Golden Boy and Hallelujah Nights, it was a pretty solid 3rd that night at nearly 9-1.
Yeah, and if you look at his final time, 20.06, we talked about La Blue Amore, who just missed the final. A horse went 20 flat. So we're just talking about, about a neck difference between those 2 times. So, and with the trouble that Bemusing encountered, and this horse can break. This horse can definitely break. So I think if just a little bit of an improvement leaving the gate, he'll be right there. Along with the outside horse, just right on cue. My top 2 choices in race 7.
It's still impressive to watch how much ground Golden Boy made up in that trial to win impressively there. Unfortunately, we don't get to see him in these trials, but hopefully he returns as a 3-year-old. All right.
Yeah, Valentin Zamudio, I talked to him yesterday, and he said that they're looking forward to having him back here on the grounds and start getting him ready for the Winter Derby trials. So those trials will be second half of January and the finals in mid-February. So we might still, we're hoping to start seeing Golden Boy kind of show up on the workout tab, early next year.
All right, good news there on that side. Race number 8, 8th trial of the evening. We're right past the halfway point up to this point. 8 races in this spot. 8 horses in this spot. This is a little bit of a more interesting handicap puzzle, I thought, Orlando, because you have a lot of horses coming out of either trouble starts or not breaking all that well, but can finish. It looks like the money might be towards the 5 FGGSAs, but I thought this was an interesting race.
Oh, interesting. I didn't expect you to say that, but I thought the money would be closer to the 2, tip of my tongue, after that nice 3/4 length win in his Golden State Million trial. We don't have the morning light yet.
No,
we might have some breaking news as we're talking. I'll have to keep checking to see if the morning line appears, and I'll kind of keep an eye on race 8 to see what the odds are between the 2, tip of my tongue, and the 5 FGGSAs. There is a rider here, Diego Herrera. He's been just one of the big stars here at Los Alamitos this year, riding thoroughbreds, riding quarter horses, working at Santa Anita early in the morning, coming out here to Los Al to work horses, get on horses in the morning, riding at Del Mar, then coming back here at Los Al and winning races at night. This young man is just staying busy, always with a smile on his face. He's going to be part of the 2 million trials for the first time in his career, and he can't wait. And how about last week, Jose, winning at 40-1? 40-1. So we actually had a chance to talk to Diego Herrera on Thursday morning, just about a couple of different things, including that big win last week. Let's talk to Diego Herrera.
Here's Diego talking about his career up to this point here at Los Al.
With jockey Diego Herrera, what a season it has been, Diego. And let's relive last week, because you won with a nice prize, made some handicappers really happy at 40-1 with Just Fortunate. Tell me what it was like to win that race, and tell me how was she doing in the gate before the race?
You know what, I've ridden this. I've never ridden this filly, but the groom told me before the race, and she's feeling really good. I think if she has a good break, she can be real tough in this race. And we were in the gate, and she was just standing magnificent. She just was being on her best behavior and very mature. And when we kicked out of those gates, she was gone. I mean, I just didn't see nobody else that could beat me at that point.
And you get into the winner's circle with this huge smile. How does that feel like to win with a big long shot like that?
It feels amazing because, just when everybody thinks that you have no shot, you come and you prove them wrong. So it feels good to be able to do that.
You have a mount in the Las Chiquitas on Saturday. Keep listening. She's been very consistent, coming off of a 4th place finish in a stakes race, but has not run in a while. But you had a chance to work with her this morning. How was that like?
Yeah, this filly, she's been bumped around a couple times in her last races, so I think it'd be nice to get a clean trip. Today we took her out. She worked really good, so I think if we have a clean break with her and everything goes well, I think she should be really tough in that race.
And of course, on Sunday night we have trials of the Los Alamitos 2 million Futurity, and it's a big night. Perhaps your first night being part of the 2 million trials, but you get a mount.
Yes.
You have a mount. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I have a little 2-year-old for Juan Aleman. Dream of the Hearts. I've been working with him. This horse, I think, and he's a very nice horse, and he's been running real good. He's done all his running in Ruidoso and Texas, but he has one start here in the trials for the Golden State. He ran good. It's first time here. Horses tend to be a little confused under the lights, especially when you're running all day. But I think if he gets a clean trip around there, he should be tough to qualify.
Congratulations on the success, and looking forward to a great weekend, Diego.
Thank you.
Thanks to Diego Herrera there, young rider. Orlando, like you mentioned, he's everywhere right now. He's double dutying. He's riding the thoroughbreds, the daytime thoroughbred circuit. He's still riding here at Los Al, and he's competing in his 2 million trial. So that's going to be an exciting night to take in here.
Yeah, he's in race number 6 as well. He's riding a horse for Juan Aleman in that race 6. He's also, going to be here on Saturday night riding horses as always. And he'll be riding a horse on Saturday night, just throwing that out there for Elena Andrade, Chamarral, in one of the 1,000-yard races. And the horse is a big prize. And he's like, no, I got a chance. I'm going to take him outside, take him wide so that there's no dirt hitting him in the face, and just let him run there. And I think he's got a chance if we can get a good hold of a spot out there wide on the track. So looking forward to Diego. And after what he did last week, why not?
You can't leave him off at this point. You can't leave him off at big prizes. Diego Herrera, congrats to him having a good season, both thoroughbreds and quarter horses. Race number 9, inching towards the second half of the card now, Orlando. A field of 8 in this spot. Who did you end up liking in this trial?
Yeah, this is the start of the pick 6, right?
Yes, $2 pick 6 begins right here, race number 9.
Yeah, the one, Just Dream of Me, is one horse that I'm looking at. This filly was terrific early on at Ruidoso, qualified to the All-American Futurity, didn't get a great break, but had a nice finish, ended up a very respectable 6 to KJ Desperado. I think a lot of us picked her in our consensus sheet to win her trial, and again, not a great start for her. A little bit of a rough start, and again, made a nice move, finishing 3rd. Can she put it all together? If she can, I think she's going to win this race, Jose.
Yeah, she gets the inside post for the first time. She's never had the inside post, so that's something to watch for this one. As far as horses that should enjoy the extra distance that haven't tried it, from the horse that haven't raced at 400 yards. I think you got to look at Stuck in Probate as one of those horses that will like the stretch out. Whether he's good enough or fast enough to catch up or keep up with the other more classy established runners, that's probably the main concern. He's still a maiden, but I think he will be finishing maybe at a price for some of the exotics. What about Locked in the Zone, Orlando? Albuquerque and Ruidoso Invader finally put it all together last time out and did it with gate speed. So that's a horse to watch here.
Diego Herrera up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also, how about the 8? Terrific Chrome.
Yeah.
FTV Dynasty out of that great mare, Terrific Energy. We've seen so many of her babies do well at 400 yards. Can't forget about the 8, Terrific Chrome. And Jose, I got the morning line.
Oh, here we go. Breaking news.
I got the morning line. Let's see.
All right.
We were talking about race 8.
Yeah, let's go back to race 8. Yeah.
I say 8-5, Jose. 8-5 at Burghar's morning line.
What's the 5?
FG just says 9-2.
All right.
You're gonna get a nice price on 9-2 on the FG just says. There you go.
Right. So I might already found a horse that I like as far as playing in those rolling pick 3s. FG just says 9-2.
Yeah.
And
hey, you hit a nice late pick 4 last Sunday night.
Right? Yeah. Shout out to there's plenty of TVG players that tagged along. So shout out to other players that tagged along. We're able to cash in with a nice payout. Orlando, I got tweets saying, "Oh, if Jose didn't give out this pick 4, would be paying like $3,000." Well, what do you expect? Like, either you hit it, either you miss out, Orlando, or you're getting all these tweets like, "Oh, you can't hit a winner." You hit a winner, you're like, "Oh, it didn't pay all that much. You should have paid much more." Well, I can't help you. Sorry, but we got a nice pick 4 hit there on was it Sunday night,
right? Yeah. Jose, in race 9, Just Dream of Me, 9-5.
Okay.
9-5. And stuck in Probate, 6-1.
Wow. So the maiden is not as big of a long shot as I thought. So Stuck in Probate so he's getting some respect on Ed Burghar's morning line. All right, interesting. What about Gryffindor? What's Gryffindor in that trial? What's the price on him?
Jose, if you're talking to me, I can't hear you right now because 2 trucks just went by me. Right behind me as they're continuing to prep the racetrack here at Los Al. What was it again, Jose?
Oh, I was going to say, what's the morning line on Gryffindor in that same trial?
Oh, Gryffindor.
Yeah.
You know what?
He's a horse that has been battling.
Talk about that. 8-1, Jose. 8-1. And this horse early on during those early parts of the morning works, he was terrific. He was just outstanding.
We chase this horse, Orlando. This horse owes us money. This is one of those horses that owes us money.
Wins by a length and a half.
Yeah.
I thought, we have a superstar here on Gryffindor. There's still time. Some of these horses just might get a little bit of time to develop. Tremendous trainer, Paul Jones, Ramon Sanchez. They'll get him figured out. And I'm looking forward to a big 3-year-old year from Gryffindor, Jose.
Yeah, this might be the night where if you leave him off and he wins, Orlando, you're like, why did I ever jump off of Gryffindor? He won at a price. Blah. This is one of those nights that you kind of don't want to stay away from some original opinions
that you've liked, right? That you've liked all along.
Yeah. This is the kind of night where you capitalize on sticking with your original opinions of some of those horses you like, and you might be getting a better price. All right, race number 10. Moving along here, in this spot, we got a field of 8. We got Whiskey Glasses, who just won the Golden State Million Futurity.
Jose, this horse has won 5 out of 7 career starts.
Yep.
One of the few times where he actually the only time where he finished out of the top 2 was in the All-American Juvenile at 440 yards, and the horse got bumped. So man, this horse has just been outstanding.
He's been the 1995 clocking in his trial wasn't as fast as others. That's why he didn't completely get bet down.
Yeah.
But he took late money at the gate. He would drop down to 7-2. I think he was 5-1, 6-1 heading to the gate. So late money came in on Whiskey Glasses, and he proved to be the better horse that night. So
we've seen this horse where he doesn't, just from his form, that doesn't always just bust out of the gate. So it might take him a little bit longer to just start rolling. So that's maybe where you see that 1995, like you said, not as impressive of a time. We got some horses that just fly out of the gate and just have outstanding times. But this horse, I think, just kind of takes him a little bit longer to kind of get going once he gets going, he's flying.
Yeah, he's gonna be the favorite there. I'm looking like a runner like Jay Super Corona, who returned back to Losal after going to Ruidoso. He looked sharp, taking care of business. Obviously, his time wasn't as flashy, but he might be on the improve. But it just looks like this is going to be a popular standout single for a lot of those horizontal players.
In the pick 6, the odds morning line 102.
Yeah. It kind of looked like that kind of trial. Whiskey Glass is a strong favorite.
This is one race that is not in the pick 4s.
No, yeah.
So, you can single them if you like them in the pick 6s, but there's a little bit more complicated puzzles coming in for that late pick 4. And Jose, I just wanted to give a shout out there to our consensus sheet that we'll be putting up later today. There's 6 handicappers that are going to select every single race and give you their top 3 choices. You're one of them, of course. George Duarte, who we've had on the show here, the Eco-Based Trackman. Curtis, the Hitman Trees.
The best there is,
the best there was,
partner. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
That's right. Curtis Trees, as well. Chris Wade, the gentleman Chris Wade, who also gives out picks. I give out picks, and we're going to have a new person selecting as well, giving out picks. The Losal Edge. You can follow him on Twitter, the Losal Edge. He's going to be joining us as part of the consensus sheet. So let's get back to the racing action. Race number 11, Jose. Trial 11.
Usually I would be talking about late daily double time, Orlando. No, it's late pick 4 time. Pick 4 time in race 11 here. Speaking of wrestling, Cactus Jack, Orlando, draws the inside post. Eye in the sky, put in the most sensational debut win of the season by a 2-year-old back in April.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. One of my favorite horses so far this year. Eye on the Sky. I thought he was going to win the Edberg Million.
Edberg,
but not a great start. Ended up running 5th with making up a lot of ground late. Then comes back to take some time off. We see him again in an allowance race. Doesn't fly out of there, but gets the job done at 300 yards. I like this horse again. I think he's going to win race 11.
I thought 300 yards might have been too short that night, Orlando.
Yeah.
So I remember I think I tried to beat him, but he showed up with a big performance. 15:46. His resume kind of stands out over the rest. Do you have the morning line for this one?
905.
All right. So what's the price on Arimathea?
Ooh, new barn too. 12-1.
All right. So that might be my long shot in this spot. I think Arimathea has been difficult to ride. Tried 400 yards for the first time last time out, lugged out from the outside post. He's got more talent than what it appears. I don't think he's got to do something significantly, a huge jump to kind of defeat this field. But if you're looking for a long shot for the exotics here, Arimathea to me could really jump up and
since his last out, purchased privately by Isla Vista Ranch, Farias has been training this horse, so he knows the horse well. A1A Racing sells this horse privately to Isla Vista Ranch. He gets a jockey switch. Rodrigo Aceves will replace Eddie Garcia. Looking forward to Arimathea with a new jockey up there, seeing if that early promise that he had where he was flying, maybe he can get back to that form. But he's always been really quick out of the gate. Let's see what Rodrigo can do with Arimathea. Eddie Garcia did an excellent job with them early on, and now the horse has been sold privately.
Yeah, so to me, that's an interesting long shot in this spot. What about Set For It? Once upon a time, this horse was going to be was one of the favorites for the Governor's Cup Futurity. Out of the dam that won the Governor's Cup Futurity up for it. The other runner, She Goes Up, the other sibling, ended up winning that race, Orlando. Yeah. What do you think about the outside post?
I kind of like this horse because he's always shown, a strong late kick. And we're talking about post number 8, so he's going to be way out there. He's still going to be in the action early on. He's got Arimathea, who's a quick breaker, right next to him, giving him something to run after early on. I think Set For It could be a big player here and kind of just get forgotten by Eye on the Sky on that outside post there. I think it's going to be a terrific finish.
What did you end up going in your top 3 in this spot?
I went with the 2, Eye on the Sky. I actually like the 6, Significant Dynasty, and the 8, Set For It. Those were my top 3.
So 2-6-8 for Orlando, race number 11, the start of the late pick 4. Race number 12, we get into the final pick 3 opportunity of the night in this spot. 8 horses in this race, Orlando. And we have a little bit of a mix of more established runners, a few maidens, a few lightly raced runners. But, horses like Hallelujah Knights and Chisholm are expected to be well supported because of the resumes. Who did you end up liking here?
Yeah, we got 2 horses here that are coming out of the Golden State Million Futurity, Hallelujah Knights. I really like Chisholm in the final. Yep. I actually picked the horse on top to win the race. Chisholm, we've seen him now twice in finals. He just hasn't gotten it done in those finals, but he's been really good in trials. Just every single time that he's been in a trial race, he's just delivered big time. I still picking him on top. The 7 Chisholm, like the way he's drawn there. There's an interesting horse there as well, Dashing Moonflash, for trainer Eddie Willis. Horse that showed a lot at Ruidoso Downs. We actually had a chance to talk to Eddie Willis' son and assistant trainer, Kasey Willis, and he mentioned the 6, Dashing Moonflash.
On the eve of the Los Alamitos 2 million Futurity trials, and you're going to be ready with a nice contingent of runners going into these trials. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we're going to try it with about 10 of them, and I guess we'll see how it goes. Got a couple we really like, so we'll see.
Which ones are you keeping your eye out the most, maybe giving you one of the better chances to qualify?
I really like the Dashing Moonflash Colt and the Apolitical J Streak. I think they're going to run big races for the trials, so we'll see what we draw today, and we'll go from there.
There's always a horse when you have 10 of them going into the trials that you look like it keeps getting a little bit better each time. Is there one in particular in your box?
Yeah, I feel like J Streak's the horse. He ran second in allowance the other day, but they ran really, really fast, and one more jump and he wins, and he gets the 400 yards this time. So I think he'll be tough.
Looking forward to a big night. Thanks so much, Kasey.
Thank you.
There was Kasey Willis talking about Dashing Moonflash. Michael Wrona likes this horse a little bit, Orlando. First time out, slow, a little bit of a lugging in from gate 2. Much better improved workout back on November 6th since that race. This might be the second time improvement over Losal angle here for Dashing Moonflash.
Yeah, good race. This is a really good race, like you mentioned. A lot of interesting horses. Definitely one of the tougher trials of the night. Hallelujah Knights coming off of a nice 6 in the Golden State Million. Qualified to the All-American Juvenile as well. Finishing 3rd. Even running the Edinburgh Million Futurity. So just a solid field all around trial 12.
Yeah, and don't forget runners like God Loves Cowboys, who made a good impression back on September 18th. So overall, I think this is a pretty good trial to kind of tackle there in race number 12. There's 2 races left. You know what time it is.
There you go.
Daily double time in races 13 and 14. All right, race number 13. We got a field of 8 runners in this spot. But at this point,
give me the favorite in this one. Who do you think is the favorite?
All right, so a quick glance. I think you got to look at the resume. Dasher Dynasty was a finalist to the Golden State, and then you have a runner like Apolitical Jade Legacy, who qualified to the Ruidoso Futurity. I'm gonna say that Dasher Dynasty might be the borderline favorite, Orlando. Am I correct or incorrect?
You are not correct, sir.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
That horse is actually the 3rd choice.
All right. So if it's not Apolitical and if it's not Dasher Dynasty, no,
it has to be the 8. Yes, he's on fire. 8-5.
All right.
And this horse is another one that had some really impressive works early on from a great family, yes. An outstanding mare, Just Send Me, coming off of a couple of runner-up efforts. But again, a horse that has shown a lot of quickness out of the gate from time to time, and just the breeding's there to go 400 yards. Probably the most consistent horse, overall. Him along with Dasher Dynasty, I would say.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to the latest time in the race for He's on Fire, 20.01. I think that's why Ed Burgard is making this one the morning night favorite, because of the recent race and the recent clocking. I like Dasher Dynasty. To me, we've seen the offspring of Dasha Frida from the family He's Dasher Fire and I'm a Fearless Hero. We've seen quite a few of these this year make their first starts. And to me, I thought this was one of the most talented runners early in the season from that family. So took some money first time out, betting favorite. And then last time out, just draw a line. Broke slow, hopped, no response. But in that trial, went 20.00. So I like Dasher Dynasty there. All right. So who did you end up liking? Did you end up liking the outside horse?
I ended up liking the middle horse, the 5, Apolitical J Legacy, just thinking that the horse might improve after a really trouble outing. Looking to see if this horse has a clean trip and nicely placed. Ayala up. We'll see how the 5 goes, Apolitical J Legacy. It was close, though. It was close. I debated between all 3 of those horses that we've been talking about, Jose.
Yeah, this might be a race where all those 3 runners kind of take the good betting support, and they all kind of similar off odds. So to me, this might be a race where I just single, because if all 3 are going to be similar prices, why triple the cost of your ticket to in the end get the same kind of off odds on all 3 runners? So I might just single Dasher Dynasty, depending on how the rest of the sequence kind of handicaps for me. But I'd like Dasher Dynasty in race number 13. All right, race number 14, Orlando. Drama. At this point is where the drama begins, because we probably have an updated top 10. Mm-hmm. We know the bubble time. The connections know how fast they need to go, and the people that are in, they want this trial to go super slow. They don't want any changes anymore.
Right.
So this ends up being a very important race, not only because it's the last one, but because they already know what is the time to be. So at this point in time, Orlando, who did you end up liking in the final trial of the evening?
I ended up liking the 6, Tempting Dream Girl.
Okay.
The odds on Tempting Dream Girl, 2-1. Actually, will be the slight favorite ahead of the 8, Western Slope.
Okay. Western Slope, to me, Orlando, has been a horse that I've been zigging and zagging.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, I think he's beaten me the 2 times that he's won. I think I chased him when he was a price horse, and I tried to beat him from the outside post last time out, and he still, he was able to beat me by a neck. So he looks like a runner that should enjoy the extra distance, and given that she won already from the outside post, that's probably a positive for Western Slope.
Yeah, you got Favorite Cartel as the sire, West Coast Cash, who's produced some stakes winners here at Los Al. Western Slope has been really consistent the entire year. Was only finished out of the money once, running 4th in a trial to the what would have been the Governor's Cup Futurity, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Looking at other runners in this spot, Sweet Dash of Fire, we just talked about the breeding. We talked about some of the horses showing early promise. Sweet Dash of Fire draws gate 5 for Jose Flores. Jesus Ayala jumping aboard for the first time. We don't usually see this jockey trainer combination, Orlando, Jose Flores and Jesus Ayala. We don't see it a lot. So I find this interesting on the 5, Sweet Dash of Fire.
Yeah, an opportunity to get on this horse for Ayala. You got to like that as well. What about the 4, Incredible? Horse has only run once here at Los Al, ran nicely at Lone Star Park. Armando Cervantes up. What about the 3? Some King is up.
Uh-huh.
This horse could easily have 2 wins under his belt. Got DQ'd in one, just barely missed by a nose against Just Being Friends. Man, this horse could actually be 3 for 3.
Yeah, he might be undefeated. If it wasn't for that nose defeat and that DQ there. He's one of those runners that showed ability in the workouts for Jaime Gomez, and he put it together last time out, defeating Stuck in Probate, who at this point would have ran earlier in the night. A horse that I don't want to get beat by, Orlando, is Majority Interest. I don't want to get beat by this horse. I'm going to use her in some kind of form. She's bred to be good. I don't think we had seen a lot of Remember Me Rose paired up with Separate Interests up to this point. This might be one of the only ones. She put it all together in that breakout performance from the outside post on June 19th, and then has gotten into some not so good starts. So there's been some excuses for some of her flat efforts in recent races. To me, she's an interesting horse. Do you have the morning line on the 1? It's Majority Interest.
Yeah, I do. Let's check this out. 5-1.
All right. is the more night favorite. I think you mentioned the Western Slope was what, 5-2?
Western Slopes is 5-2, but the favorite is Tempting Dream Girl.
All right, Tempting Dream Girl for Bounties and Video.
2-1. And I got to correct, Western Slopes only out of the money finish was actually the John Deere Juvenile Challenge Trials.
Oh, okay, back on May 30th.
Not the kindergarten.
Okay.
He ran, let's see, he did not run in the kindergarten, ran third in a maiden race May 9th, around the same time as the kindergarten final was run. So Western Slope, 5-2, Tempting Girl, 2-1, Sweet Dash of Fire with Ayala, 8-1. Let me check. Let me see that again.
8-1.
8-1. Yeah.
Edberg Millie finalist, 8-1 with Ayala. Ooh. All right.
Does that change your outlook in this race?
Maybe a little bit. What Some King is up? What Some King is up?
Oh, Some King is up. 5-1.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're getting some nice prices. You know, if you're gonna stay away from the two outside horses, play Sweet Dash of Fire. Some King is up. Even majority interest. You're getting 5-1, or or a little bit higher odds on each one of those.
To me, I have to stay away from Western Slope again, Orlando. If I try to beat him last time out in an allowance field, then I'm probably gonna have to let him try to beat me again against this group. Right. So that's probably a horse I'm gonna stay away from, and I'm gonna be looking towards the others. So Tempting Dream Girl getting plenty of support on the morning night based on that 400-yard stretch out and win last time out for Top Connections of Ruben Lozano and Valentin Zamudio. All right, that's a look at those 14 trials for Sunday night, Orlando. Looking forward to it. 3 pick 4s, and also for the place pick all players on nights like this, the place pick all is only in races 1 through 10.
That's right.
So 1 through 10 for the place pick all players. I think the place pick all paid over 11 or 12,000 on Sunday night, if I remember correctly.
I think somebody pulled it.
Yeah, that was a pool shot. Yeah. And so nice job.
That handicapper for sure.
That place pick all is one of the popular bets. So races 1 through 10 only on nights like this. But Orlando, do you have an approximate post time for Sunday night?
Yeah, I've heard about 5:15, 5:20. Don't know for sure just yet, but it's going to be a great night. 14 trials to the 2 million, over 100 juveniles competing. Fastest 10 advance to the final on December 12th here at Los Al. The purse, Jose, is going to be well over $2 million. One of the richest that we've had for the 2 million. So looking forward to a great night.
That should be fun. So can't wait. The finals are fast approaching. Right before we know it, that weekend of the Champion of Champions and the 2 million will be upon us. So Orlando, thanks so much for everything, and we'll catch you here next week.
See you at the races Sunday night.
See ya.
Racing fans, the fun and excitement of horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. We're open daily for simulcasting, and our live quarter horse and thoroughbred meet continues every Saturday and Sunday night. And sports fans, make Burgarts at Los Alamitos a big part of your Sundays, as our new sports bar and wagering room now features the NFL Sunday Ticket. Root on your favorite football team, plus cheer on your favorite racehorse at Burgarts. Plus, we're continuing to offer our popular $10,000 Pick 6 promo with the NFL Sunday Ticket now at Burgarts. Live nighttime horse racing action, and of course, our $10,000 Pick 6 promo. Get your admission tickets at the gate or online at losalamitos.com. We look forward to seeing you at Los Alamitos.